Done.
Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is another episode of Relaxed and Raunchy Relationships with Ingrid Galloway, and today's guest is Michael Haan from Care to Grow Pty Limited. The reason why I produce my podcast is simply because, in the beginning of COVID lockdown, I was not having a lot of fun. If you can imagine, everyone can relate. It's like, oh my God, all this news about coronavirus and everyone is in lockdown, can't go anywhere, can't do too much and what to do. And it's like, oh, hey, why not we create a podcast to connect with other human beings, especially in my case, business owners, and support each other and have fun.
Good strategy. Good
Yeah.
work.
So that's the reason why. So people, let me introduce you. My guest today, Michael Haan, is the founder of Care to Grow Pty Limited, a firm with a strong history in financial planning and building wealth through property. Aha. The business now solely focus on clients' financial well-being and transforming negative financial mindset. Isn't that so important? And it
That's very important.
believes, yeah, to help them live their best life. I guess the first step to accumulating wealth or and keeping the wealth, I guess, start with your mind, isn't it? Otherwise, you get money and then you spend money immediately.
Exactly right.
That happened to me, by the way. That's why I can speak from the truth.
I could sense there was a story there, Ingrid.
Oh, hang on. I will tell people your vision. Your Michael's vision is to empower people to create more joy, freedom, and growth through financial well-being because he has witnessed and overcome the negative impact of financial stress. I mean, I specialize in stress relaxation and relationship. That's what I talk about normally. And financial stress, it's just one of the top source of stress that people are experiencing. So I'm really, really glad that Michael agreed to be my guest today. I think we will learn a lot from him. So welcome, Michael.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. I'm quite excited about it because I think what you just said then is after their stresses, what does that look like and how they communicate and how they can have joy in their relationship and have happiness. So there's a very strong alignment. So hence why I was excited when you invited me. So thank you again.
My pleasure.
And I wanted to share with you, I suppose, in a sense, my why, and then I'll talk a bit about your business, get to learn more about your business. But what I saw, I've got a strong financial planning background, over 20 years. I'm showing my age a bit, Ingrid, and dealing with clients in regard to property. And what I was seeing is that there's no sort of working with clients around financial well-being. And I saw a lot of financial stress out there. So if we're looking at the stats, 50% of employees are financially stressed. And what I
Yes.
do know with my research is that with financial stress, it's the leading cause of anxiety, depression, and cancer and relationship breakdown. So I thought, there's no one really servicing. Where does a 29-year-old woman go to learn about money and confidence about making money decisions, and what's a healthy mindset around money, making money decisions? So hence a real interest in regard to that, supporting people to look at their mindset, look at potentially their behaviours and beliefs around money. And I wanted to, I suppose, share my story because it sort of becomes real, where I was building wealth for clients for many years and I was doing a good job at sort of building wealth for them. And what I found myself, I was earning good income. I was sort of building wealth myself. But when I look back at my sort of beliefs and behaviours around money, I had a lot of limiting beliefs. And when I was growing up, we had a lot of scarcity around money. So, and questions around, am I worthy? So I found myself sabotaging my relationship with money. I found myself making some poor decisions with money
Yep.
and putting our assets at risk as a father, as a provider for my family. And it really started to bring a lot of stress into my life, a lot of financial stress. And I actually went down a pathway, it was about 7-8 years ago now, Ingrid, where I was suffering from anxiety, which led to depression. And then I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I
Wow.
really felt the effect of this long-term financial stress, what it does to my body. In the sense, it
Yes.
shuts down your immune system, really. And
Yeah.
about a year after that, I was married for 22 years. I lost my relationship with my wife at that time there. So it was quite, and I didn't really understand it, or why was this happening to me. And as I said, I knew money well. I was under financial stress. I didn't need to be. It was more around my mindset and my beliefs around money. So learning that and meeting a beautiful woman now in my relationship, I'm married again, and we've really got an abundance mindset. So we really make decisions in together, and we make decisions around what money means to us, and there's no limiting beliefs. I've done a lot of work around that.
Yeah.
And we're building that financial freedom, and we'll talk later about what that means to our relationship. But it does just bring that joy back. It brings that happiness back, and that sort of belief there that you are deserving. And people
Yes.
talk about money in a taboo sense there, but money is a gift that gives me freedom.
Oh, it's just so beautiful. And how long with your second wife now? You've been married
So I've been married for a bit over 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yes.
Congratulations. Yeah. I'm sure that
Yeah.
you have learned some lessons from your past relationship, not to carry it over to this one.
And you know what? That's a really good question. If I had gone down that same pathway of those limiting beliefs and behaviours, I would have the same issue with my wife now. And we've talked about that quite openly,
Yep.
because, and I can still see that coming up in me. I do have such an awareness now. I can
Yes.
see myself going back into that pattern, and I can pull myself out of it. But even when my wife sees me go to that pattern and behaviour, she goes, now I can understand where they sort of, what happened in your last relationship, and we talk about it. So it's just that sort of communication and being upfront and having a loving relationship that can sort of say, look, I can see you going back,
Yes.
where you've been there. And it's just so important to stay aware, stay conscious of your behaviours, your beliefs around money, because to me, money is freedom.
Yeah, that's right. Ah, so good to hear that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
story.
No, pleasure. But I'd love to learn a bit more about you. So I want to, I suppose, share your story and get your why in regard to what you do.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
that would be.
So, the reason why I am a relationship coach and chief relaxation officer of my business is because I came from a very religious family back in Indonesia. And it's interesting you're sharing about your, limiting beliefs around money, mindset. My dad never taught me anything about money, financial. He's always been an entrepreneur, so to speak. He's the backbone of the family. He has a very big extended family, lots of children, and unfortunately, just recently we lost 4 of them due to COVID within 3 weeks. So that's a big blow to our family. But yeah, I never learned anything from my dad. So therefore, growing up, I truly believe that I made not very good decisions around money, and you'll understand why. So I left Indonesia in 1996 to marry my ex-husband. So after 10 years of marriage, unfortunately, it was an abusive relationship. So I left, and then I lost everything. I lost my properties. I lost my furniture, and I truly believe that this move partly because of my mindset around money, definitely not wise around money, definitely not. So and then in my self-healing journey, I went back to study counseling and life coaching, and straight away I knew that I would be a coach, not a counselor, and my niche will be in relationship. Wonder why? Because I'm really passionate and compassionate towards people in sort of like similar predicaments. So high stress, I gain depression, I gain anxiety, all the fun stuff. So I'm very compassionate to help others in similar sort of way. And now I'm very happy with my husband of 12 years.
Congratulations.
My current husband is very competitive. He said, yay, I go over a couple of years compared to your ex-husband. He did 10 years, I did 12 years. Yay, I win. And then we have two beautiful kids. So yeah, that's
Lovely.
why I do what I do. But I can really connect with the, limiting beliefs around what you're saying before, and wanting to, create joy and
Yeah.
just have fun and not repeating the same pattern in the first relationship, bring it over to the next relationship. So hats off to you.
It's very wise, and I think there's some good learnings that you're sharing around not bringing those same behaviours and patterns, like showing up differently.
Yes.
Take your learnings and just go, well, I want a better relationship. I want to be, as I said, bring joy, and I suppose you're living what you're teaching.
Yeah.
So I love to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I have no qualms about my ex-husband, like no regrets, nothing.
Yeah.
It was painful at the time, but then there's so much learning, there's so much gain from that experience. So
Exactly.
it's all good. It's all good. So now, Michael, I'm curious to learn about your tips. I always ask my guests about tips about many things. 3 tips about about limiting beliefs around money. We've been talking about it quite a bit. And also a couple of examples of the limiting belief itself. What are the saying that our brain is saying to ourselves so people can relate to?
Yeah, thank you. So I think the 3 tips that I'll share is that you really need to understand where you are at the moment. So that is what income, expenses, what assets you've got. And a lot of people, that creates fear because there's a bit of shame where they thought that they should be. And when I sit down with clients here, there's no shame. There's no judgment. It's really going, let's just put on the table where you are now. We can't change that. Let's just really look at that, understand where the gaps are in regard to where you're spending money. I often find people are spending, $500 or $1,000 extra than they need to each month, and that's by paying too much on their home loan or paying too much on electricity, whatever. So imagine if you can sit down and just say, well, look, let's put it all out there, and I can show you gaps on where to save money straight away, and that can start building towards holidays or things that are there that you can enjoy. Then we actually just sit down and really start getting that. What are they after? What is important to them? And it's not financial, Ingrid. It's really sitting down and going, what's going to bring joy to you and your family? And it might be a holiday taking the kids or grandkids. It might be this home that we've been really after because it's got a backyard for our grandchildren where they can play and things like that. We've just got to look at emotionally what we're trying to achieve in life. We don't put a monetary sense on it. So a lot of people will go to a financial planner and say, I want to get $1 million. So they, what's that going to do in your life? So it's really just being clear around that picture and an emotional sense there. What does that mean for your life? What does it mean in regard to enjoyment and freedom in your life? So that's really important to know where you are now, really be clear about your journey, and then start understanding your mindset. So really get clarity, because your mindset will either support you to get those goals or it'll work against you. So, and people actually say to me, they go, well, how do I understand my mindset? Like generally we look at your subconscious mind, which is building your program around your mindset, and that's from 0 to 7 years old. So I simply say to clients going, where are you stuck in life? Don't worry about sort of going back and trying to work out what happened from 0 to 7, just going really where are you stuck? And we can sort of work from there, whether there's a bit of anxiousness, seek security. There's a number of different emotions attached to that, which we can work on and start shifting from that limiting mindset to an abundance mindset. So you put those 3 together, and then people actually go on this amazing journey where they believe in themselves, they get a clear picture, and they get excited. They actually feel as if they've got some control and that they can make a difference, and it's a great place to be. And I thought I'd share with your story. I was dealing with a woman, she's 58, and she never knew how to sort of charge money or receive what she thought she was worth. So she had that, in a sense, they're trying to start her own business and we're not charging the right amount of money, always struggling with money. And we started to look back, and she said, I want to share a story with you, but I don't know whether it's relevant. And she said, when I was 5, I went out with my girlfriend and we actually picked up all these sort of pieces of branches, whatever, packaged them up and went around to houses and sold them for Kindle for 5 cents a bag. And she said that was entrepreneurial. She was quite proud of that. And then when her girlfriend's mother found out, she took both girls around to each of the place, apologised for what they had done, got the money back, and berated them in regard to doing that. So she actually can vividly tell the story 53 years ago, and the shame she felt, the embarrassment she felt, and she's just carried that through her life, and that's, in a sense, being programmed. And it was just liberating when she was talking about it. She's going, like, it came up as an awareness, and she's going, I don't do that anymore. That wasn't me.
Oh, it's
you know,
so
that
amazing.
was just a part of someone else. That in this point, it was a. And now she's setting off on a, just so amazing what limiting beliefs or behaviours can do for people. And a lot of it's subconscious, a lot of it's sort of hidden away. When you can bring it up there, they go, well, I want to change that. I don't accept that anymore.
It's incredible. A lot of things happen when we're a child, right? A lot of people have been in therapy for a long time, and generally speaking, a lot of the problems stem from when, during childhood, whatever their preconditioning is, with my culture, religion, there's a lot of shame and guilt about everything. And so we end up being like, we're high achievers who feels that we're never good enough. Yeah. That's quite typical Asian culture. Yeah.
And that might have been instilled when you're quite young. So, and that's that worthiness. Am I worthy? And a lot of times, if you don't work on that, you will sabotage, or you will stop yourself from being the best version that you can be.
Amazing. I love that you do tap into the emotional side and subconscious side of things, not just the numbers. Yes, financial planning is about numbers. We need to face our reality, the numbers, but then, oh my God, it's such a dry subject if you don't zhuzh it up. I'm using the word zhuzhing. Zhuzh it up with the emotional work stuff. It's just bloody boring. So thank you for doing what you do.
No, thank you. And I'd love to learn some tips from you in regard to your expertise, how you help people. So I'd love to again experience that from you. Three tips.
Yeah, definitely about relationship. As you mentioned about joy, it sparked my memory about Marie Kondo. So she's the decluttering guru, very well known all over the world. So I will say number one is decluttering. Decluttering either your home or even in my case, files. Oh my God, my files, I'm so unorganized. My files are everywhere and everywhere. So now I'm slowly working with my virtual assistant to organize my files, so then my headspace can be clearer, right? I get easily distracted. Being an artist, it's just typical artist, we get distracted every second of the day, and we need some sort of structure. So therefore, I deep inside feel that decluttering can be a good start of anything, when you and your partner are together, but especially during lockdown mode. I mean, now it's eased, thank God. We have a bit more time to use on something useful. Why don't you declutter either your home or your files? And that can help your relationship, because you become less stressed, because your headspace become clearer. So number two, couples tend to say this without being aware. We talked about awareness before. The word always and the word never. You always forget to flush the toilet, for example, right? Typical wives' complaints about the husband, right? And then the husband, you never leave me alone, you always tell me to do this and do that, when am I going to have my me time? All right, so the word always and the word never.
Interesting.
Because the honest truth is, your husband will not just like always not flush the toilet. Sometimes it's bloody annoying, but they may do that sometimes, but not always. But the word, the energy behind the word always, it's so
God.
mean. So it's putting them down, right? Energetically. And the word never is it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just one is one extreme, never is to the other extreme,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
you never treat me right. But hang on a minute, if you really analyze everything, well, he did treat you right, you know. Did he ever take you on a holiday, you know? Yes, he did. Actually, yeah, he did something right. So it's not never. Yeah, be careful on using those
Yeah.
two words.
Yeah. Good advice.
And number
Good
three
tips. Yeah.
is to have fun. Yeah, to have fun. So you bring joy from decluttering, and then why don't we just have fun? Be silly with each other. You know, you dance like nobody's watching. Go out now. Great
Yeah.
thing that now we can go out again.
Yes. Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
you know run together or walk together, or you know go to the park together. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Tell funny stories like what we are going to do next is tell our funny stories. So yeah, just very important to have fun.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Some really good tips there. So thank you for sharing, Ingrid.
Thank you. So now people, let us guess our true and false statements. Michael said that he won a dance competition in Paris, or
Yeah.
second statement, he was a professional soccer player. Um, I think I will guess number two to be true, simply because of his name, Michael de Haan. It's so like soccer player name. So tell us the true answer.
The true answer is number one.
Oh, okay.
I do have a Dutch background. I'm very passionate around soccer, but I didn't get up to a professional level as much as I would have loved to. But
Yeah.
I was in Paris. I was on a tour in Paris with my wife going back many, many years ago. And I'm a typical Leo. So we're just in the crowd there and they just asked for our crowd participation. And I had my hand up very quickly. Hit
Yeah.
me. And it was a burlesque show. So they actually had people coming off from the stage there and been a part of the show. So I was a part of that. And then you had
Of
to
a
vote for the best
burlesque
dancer.
show.
A burlesque show, exactly. And my
Ooh.
hamstrings are still hurting, let me tell you.
Oh, I love that. That's quite raunchy. Burlesque show. Like, who would have thought?
And I was actually voted the best dancer from the people from the crowd. So that was a time that and it was interesting that, because I've always thought I was a good dancer.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a few signature moves, like I've got a skeleton and a few other moves that I put on. And it
Skeleton.
was interesting that my mum's, I had always thought I was a good dancer. And then my wife said to my mum, when she first met her, she said, is Mick a good dancer? What do you think? And my mum couldn't answer it. I went, all these years I thought you thought I was a really good dancer. It was a beautiful moment. I still think
She
I'm a
was
good
just
dancer.
saying it to sort of like comfort you.
So that was my funny story. But yeah,
Yeah, beautiful, awesome. Yeah, next time we met, you need to show me your move, burlesque moves.
I'll have to do some stretching. So I'm going to do the same back to you, Ingrid. And I'll guess as well. So the two that you shared with me is that Ingrid's clients enjoyed the content of their love bag. Very interesting. Or number two, Ingrid's clients' children enjoyed the content of their parents' love bag.
Mm-hmm.
And one, I'm really interested in the love bag, to be honest. So hopefully you share that with us after it. I'm going to pick number two.
Number two is correct. Yes. So let me tell you what is a love bag. So I
Thank
have
you.
a couple of packages in my coaching, and then one package called couple powerhouse package that includes massage lessons, couple massage lesson for relaxation and intimacy, and couples coaching, and also a bag of products to create this romantic ambience. All right.
Oh,
So then, because due to COVID lockdown, we do it through Zoom. Normally, they come to me in my clinic, and I show them things, and we do our sessions from there. So I sent the love bag to them, all right, and then they received at last. And the son actually opened the door. He was like, "Oh, mommy, what is this? Oh, yeah, that's from Ingrid. Okay." Straight away, the two kids opened the bag. It's like, "Oh, look at this candle. Oh, look at this." Flower petals, fake flower petals, and other, small ornaments so you can scatter around the room. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, mommy, what is this? Lube? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why Ingrid sent this one, lube. We better put this aside. and then and then the kids create in the living room this parlor massage parlor. "Hey, daddy, would you like to come to our massage parlor? We give you a massage." So they lit the candle and throw these petals, and including massage oil. It's in the love bag as well. And then, so I said to my clients, "Well, back then, massage parlors is not open, so there's no happy endings for you, and for you."
You did share that with me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, one last question, Michael.
That'd be
What
funny.
do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship? Because, my podcast name is Relax and Raunchy Relationships. Hey, why not share your thing?
It's interesting. So my wife did lose her first husband, so he passed away.
Yeah.
And we have a strong belief on that, every day we live to our best.
Yeah.
So we really plan ahead and make sure that we're enjoying life. And we plan a lot of trips. We go overseas a fair bit. Well, we haven't for a while, but that's important to us. And also, she's got family up in Queensland, so we go up there once a year or twice a year. So we do get out. We sort of blend that family work. We have our date nights, which I might have to get one of those love bags.
Yes.
So, and we're really mindful about just living your life.
Yes.
Because of what we've experienced. So we're just always mindful, and we can check in on each other, just saying, we really need to lift each other, and we're mindful about how each other's feeling, and just saying, well, let's go out, let's just go out on the town, beautiful bottle of red wine, just have a beautiful night out. And we're really conscious of that, living at that sort of quality life, that good life, and respecting each other and loving each other.
Oh, so beautiful, and live in the moment. That's so important. That's so important because, couples can be together in the same house or same room all the time, but then they're not being in the moment. So they're not aware of each other, even though physically they're together.
That is so true. That is,
Oh, beautiful. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Michael. So beautiful people, thank you so much for watching and listening to our collaboration today. Unfortunately, time is up, so we need to wrap this up. We hope that you learn a thing or two about practical things that you can do to de-stress, become more relaxed or add raunchiness into your relationship and empower yourself in what you do today and beyond. So if you need more support, in terms of financial mindset, the best mindset to accumulate wealth and to keep wealth, please connect with Michael. How do people connect with you, Michael? Can you share?
Yeah, the best way is to go to my website, which is www.caretogrow.com.au. And they can just request a discovery meeting, which is 30 minutes, and just talking about where they're at, what they want to achieve. And there's no cost to that. It's just really ideally giving them a sense of what they can do, and it sort of empowers them to actually make some decisions about their future.
Yes, wonderful. And if you need more help with your relationship issue, please connect with me. Remember, you don't have to wait until you're on the verge of a divorce to
Yeah.
connect with a relationship coach because prevention is better than cure. So you're most welcome to stalk me online, no threats. You can stalk me online, but no threats. Book a call to ask more questions. Just pop your details on my website, www.kahyangan.com.au. It's KAHYANGAN. So please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway, and I look forward to connect with you again next time with more local and global guests because I really believe that this is the perfect time for us to connect and support each other as human beings. So keep well and lots of love. Bye, Michael. Thank you so much for
Bye, Ingrid.
today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Lovely. Thank you.